Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. So, whenever I posted a video on me doing a foundation review and I actually finished my video showing you this makeup look, I got a lot of requests on YouTube to show you how I did the eyeshadow look. Fortunately, I filmed it because I was going to do like a short 1 minute video for TikTok and Instagram, but because the response on how I achieved this look was so overwhelming, I decided to just go ahead and post it here as a full minimally cut up tutorial so you can see how long it took me to blend it and how I achieved the look. So today we are doing this pale eyes with skinny brows, and I chose to go with pale lips makeup look. So if you want to see how I achieved it, let's just go ahead and, let me tell you how I did it. So I have been seeing the trend of a pale eye, skinny or thin brow look going around for a while now. And I just did a search and it's called like a 90s makeup look. I think it's more like an 80s or 70s look, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know my errors, so don't quote me on that. Now, first thing I did was I applied the Morphe Solo Artist. It's actually a cream matte eyeshadow base. It's not a base, it's an eyeshadow, but I use it as a base because it dries down matte, it doesn't crease on me, and as you can see, whatever eyeshadow I put on it, it actually holds onto the shadow very well, but it also helps the shadow blend out just as beautifully. So I've actually not had to go in with an eyeshadow primer and then an eyeshadow base and then my eyeshadow. So if you haven't yet picked up the Morphe Solo Artist, you might maybe try it out for like a one-step streamlined eyeshadow prep process. Okay, now after I applied that Solo Artist, make sure I stamped it all over my eyes and blended it in to where it was beautifully blended in, because like I said, it is an eyeshadow and you still want to make sure that it's blended out beautifully. I wanted the shade to show up very nicely on my lower lash line, so I also applied some of that Solo Artist on my lower lash line. After a few seconds, Solo Artist will dry down, so I went ahead and used my powder, or should I say, yeah, my powder eyeshadow over it. Now, the reason why I didn't mention the palette that I used was because the first palette that the palette that I actually used is a palette that was in collaboration with Revolution Beauty with Patricia Bright. So that palette is not available for you to buy, but because a lot of people asked me what palette I used, I ended up finding a comparable palette, which was the Juvia's Place Coffee Shop palette, because it has that very pale shade in there that you can use. So, any pale shadow will do. Now, after I applied the shadow to both my upper and my lower lash eyeshadows, no, eyelids, I went ahead and used my concealer to go ahead and clean up the outer edges of the eyeshadow look. That way I don't have like a white halo all around the sides of my face. I wanted the eyeshadow to look good and blend it into my skin, yes, but I also didn't want it to just have white blown out all over my face. So that's why I did it this way. Apply the cream concealer that matches my skin tone and then blend it out with my powder brush so that everything is nicely blown out and seamless. I'm using the Sephora Collection Precision Eyeliner, and I'm only lining to the middle part of my eye because, knowing me, if I try to line all the way to the inner part of my eye, I will make a mistake. And I didn't want to make a mistake with this because of the shade of it. It just will not look good. My Dibs mascara is done, so I went into the next best mascara I own that does not flake on me. This is actually a travel size. This is the Polite Society mascara. This is a small version of it, so I applied it on the top going down, give it a few seconds, and I come back in and apply going up, and then I give it a few seconds, go back in with the second coat, C-O-A-T, not Q-U. Okay, coat. Okay, so I applied the second coat and then I went in with my Too Faced Killer Liners. The thing is, Too Faced Killer Liners are some of the best eyeliners that has ever graced the market. A lot of people don't talk about it because a lot of people don't use color eyeliners like I do, but I have a lot of different brands of color eyeliners, and these ones are still creamy. The color payoff on all the shades are beautifully intense. So if I want that shadow or if I want my waterline to show very nicely, I grab my Too Faced one because I know it's going to be creamy and I don't have to guess about the shade. This specific shade I'm using is called Killer Cashmere, and luckily it's still available, but they don't have the whole range, at least not on Sephora. I think Ulta might have the whole range, but I will put both links to both retailers down below so you can check it out. I allow the liner to dry down and then I go back in and apply mascara to my lower lashes. All this while I'm being very careful because me and mascaras, I always will make a mistake when it comes to me applying mascara, especially applying mascara on this very light, very pale eyeshadow look. Okay, now I know there are specific lashes for like doll looks that you can get, but because this look wasn't planned, I didn't want to rummage through my lashes to try to find a doll looking lash, so I just went with my natural lashes for this look. So no falsies were used in this look. Now for the lips, I went in with this new Revlon L'Oreal lip liner. I don't remember the name of it. I don't remember the shade of it, but I will be doing a separate video on these lip liners and lip products. So just keep an eye out for that. I then went ahead and lined it, but this was a very warm brown shade, almost like a bronzer shade almost, and I really liked it, but it wasn't as definitive as I wanted it to be, so I went back in with my Sephora collection Molasses, which is not very deep, but it's also a different hue of brown, which was essentially what I was looking for, but I don't mind the mix between the two. They both look beautiful on the skin. For the lips, I'm using this Huda Beauty bullet, and I'm 100% sure these bullets are discontinued because I can't find them anywhere. It's actually, the Huda Beauty lip bullets are another brand, another lip shade that I use, sorry, that a lot of people are asking for, but the shade is nowhere to be found. But this lip bullet looked good, but the shade just wasn't matching my eyes, probably because my lip liner was mixing in with it and it just wasn't giving me the kind of shade that I wanted. I went back to the Morphe Solo Artist eyeshadow, cream to powder eyeshadow, and I applied it to my lips because, like anything else in makeup, one product is not only meant to be used in one specific area. If it can fit or match something else that you want to do, go ahead and use it. So I applied that on top of the lips and it gave me exactly the shade I was looking for. I kind of wish it was a little bit more white, but I couldn't get that to come through as hard as I was trying, and I wanted to finish my initial video that I was doing. So this is the finished look, and this is how I achieved it. I absolutely loved it. I wish my brows were a little bit thinner and I wanted a more intense brow, but I think the brow worked very nicely with the doll look that I'm going for. The eyeliner is beautiful and superb, and the minimal lashes just makes it look that much more natural, not too costumey, and also very wearable. I don't mind wearing my natural lashes. I realized that with the right mascara, my natural lashes will look beautiful. And if the eyeshadow is light enough, it actually makes me look like I have falsies on, and I absolutely love it. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this makeup look. Would you try it out? And if you want to see more makeup looks or eyeshadow looks from me, please subscribe to my channel and click that hype button. Thank you so much for watching. Love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.